Hi, this is Depressaholic, and I've just been watching the Tempus Fugitive video about Islam, and I just thought I'd ask him a quick question based on something he said in his video. So at one point he was talking about Sharia law being introduced to Britain and why it's a fairly terrible idea. And I just wanted to ask him something about that. So obviously I'm not a Muslim. But I just want to say I'm not just kind of playing devil's advocate on this. It's an issue that's kind of affected a friend of mine who is a Muslim, and I have to say I do see her point about it. So about a year ago, the Archbishop of Canterbury said something about the possibility of introducing elements of Sharia law into the British legal system, and he was sort of shouted down on all sides. You know, he was shouted down by Christians. You don't want to see their Christian country become Islamified, and he was shouted down by the secular people who don't want to see any religious law built into the legal system where it doesn't have to be. And there's lots of newspaper articles about people having their hands chopped off and that sort of thing. But what he was actually talking about was the Sharia law as it relates to marriage. So my friend got married a few years ago, and she had the wedding ceremony in a mosque. But under current British law, or at least as it was at the time, and I don't think it's changed, she then had to go to a registry office to register the marriage. Now, if you're a Christian, you don't have to do that. You get married in the church, you're legally married. If you're a Muslim, you're not. You have to go and sign a civil register. And that sort of inequality seems a little bit unfair to me. Now, your answer to that may be, well, let's make Christians go sign a register as well, and make all marriage, the legal idea of marriage, into a sort of civil, secular affair. And then if you want to go off to your mosque or your temple or your synagogue or whatever else to celebrate the religious side of the marriage, then you should do that. So I've got a couple of problems with that idea. The first is that to me marriage is a religious idea, and it's about asking permission of God or the bloke in a dress who stands in for God on planet Earth to legitimise your relationship and to allow you to live together and sleep together, and that without that sort of approval, that there's something sort of lacking in your level of commitment and the strength of the relationship. And you know, I've got a real problem with that. I've been with my partner for over 10 years. We're not married. We've got no intention of getting married. And we've got no intention of asking anyone other than each other about you know, permission to continue to be in a relationship. But many people feel the need to do that, and that's why they get married. So people feel that marriage is a religious ceremony, and I feel as an atheist equally strongly that it's a religious ceremony. And so I don't see why there shouldn't be some sort of religious idea behind it enshrined in law. And if that means the law relating to Muslims getting married specifically, then those elements of Sharia law that define what makes a marriage should be enshrined in British law. The other point is similar, really. It's about getting divorced. If a couple get married before God and they make their vows to God, many religions, including Islam, have provision for divorcing and ending a marriage, and that divorce is also before God and with God's permission. In Britain we have a fairly, I wouldn't say strict, but a well-defined set of criteria about when a marriage is ended, none of which have any relation to Sharia law. So you end up with this absurd, or what I feel is an absurd situation, where a couple may well divorce in the eyes of a Muslim community and their imam and everything else, but they must remain married under British law until they're able to produce reasons for their divorce that satisfy British law. And that to me means they're getting a divorce almost under false pretensions. The reasons for their divorce within Sharia law, within the Muslim community, might make perfect sense to them, but they have to lie to the British legal system to justify it legally, and I think that's wrong. So yeah, in answer to your appeal really for points about introducing Sharia law, I would introduce into the British legal system religious ideas of marriage from a variety of religions, and have those recognised by the British legal system. Okay, there's my point. Thank you very much for listening, and I've been Depressaholic.